Come un video qualsiasi, solo per la registrazione.
Guarda che c'è la fiducia.
Possiamo... ok.
Sì. A ver si ya se ve. No da la vuelta.
Un segundito, sí, claro. Con técnicas, todos sabemos de lo que hablamos. A veces hay, bueno, de los problemas hablamos. Las soluciones llegarán, ahora mismo las encontraremos. A ver si lo conseguimos.
Ah, boa tarde. Nada. No me da la vuelta. No hay.
Bueno, aprovecho para lanzaros lo del estudio, ¿vale? Es importante que cuando terminemos a las 5 vayamos directos, los que estamos en el primer grupo de travesía, vayamos directos a la plaza de Santa María para empezar travesía, ¿ok? En English. So it's important, this is till 5, so it's important once we finish, we go directly to see travesía, ¿ok? To Santa María Square. So I will go with you, but it's important to go there directly to be on time because we have 2 shows. First in English, so the ones you are going in English, you go there directly, and the ones you are in the Spanish group, you can rest and go at 4, 6, 45. Okay? So English people just go directly. Thanks.
De manera.
Wow. A las 5. Vosotros tenéis que estar a las 6 por el o sea, porque empezamos a las 7 en punto, extra un poquito antes porque hay que agruparnos bien. Como hacer un espectáculo de ese momento, pues habrá un rol de base que será para que lo encontraréis.
¿Sujeto el móvil?
Es mejor que lo hago con inglés. ¿Tienes que con inglés? Pues en inglés mejor. Sí, por el aforo. Vale, no te preocupes, me das el tiempo, ¿vale? Gracias.
¿Sobre qué canal? Yo soy Luis. Ayer fue en el central. Ayer.
Hola, no. Bienvenido.
Vi invito a mettervi davanti, così il dialogo è più facilitato. Ah?
Se escucha bien. Al fondo también, como estéis más cómodos. A ver, Julio, bueno, lo dejamos el micro para los de atrás. ¿Se escucha bien, chicos, atrás? ¿Do you listen? Sí. Yeah? Okay, great. Thanks. Thanks for your patience. So, we're going to start. Julio, ¿puedes subir la pantalla que ahora no la necesitamos? Que son las teclas ahí blancas de... Bueno, ¿sabes cuáles son? Te voy a decir yo de cosas técnicas. Okay, so, welcome. Thanks for your patience. We are going to start. So please switch off the sound of your phones, okay? Welcome.
Tapen el proyector, por favor. Pongan un papelito al proyector.
Tu la baba, tu la sana, tu la babu sofiga, eguseni. Tu la baba, tu la sana, tu la babu baba, encanisla. İngilizce kaya Sobesi kona mabon que beso yo Betty buyela ubulele kaya
This is my personal homage to one of the masters who came with us to Sevilla, to Atalaya, to teach us, in this case, Lorinto de Chile, Zulu song from South Africa. And especially, this is the song that we used to welcome in the project we had some years ago with the migrants from Morocco and sub-Saharan people. This is my friend, partner, and she's going to help me because I can think and speak another language at the same time. And I think that this is very interesting for us, how he said, deeper and deeper into the communities and Me llamo Jerónimo Arenal y vengo de Atalaya.
My name is Jerónimo Arenal. I come from Atalaya.
Estoy 30 años trabajando con ellos.
I have been working with them for 30 years.
La compañía, perdón, es que no nos gusta usar el término compañía.
The company, sorry, we don't like to use the term company, a very random way.
Nuestro grupo de teatro, que tiene 42 años este año.
Our group of theater group that is 42 years this year.
Siempre había trabajado sobre todo con la puesta en marcha de producciones teatrales.
As always, we're very professional theater shows.
Y formamos desde el principio un laboratorio que es el centro de todo nuestro trabajo.
We start at the very beginning with a laboratorium, which is the center, the main part of our work.
Porque por ahí, por ese laboratorio, han pasado todos los actores de Atalaya.
Because through this laboratorium has all the students, all the performers from Atalaya have been there studying.
Pero de repente el ayuntamiento decidió que quería a las compañías más longevas de Sevilla, capital.
Suddenly the government of Seville decided that one of the most the older companies or group of theater from Sevilla.
Sí, decidió el ayuntamiento pues ceder un espacio para que esas compañías pudieran crear su sede, su centro.
They decide to give those companies or groups of theaters a space where they can create their shows and their activities.
Ricardo Iniesta, que es el director de la compañía Atalaya, decidió colocar este sitio no donde en un principio le habían comentado, sino en otro.
Ricardo Iniesta, the director of Atalaya, this group, decided to put their space in a different space that they thought at the first time.
Es la parte, el arrabal de la ciudad, la parte externa, lejos del centro, casi 3 kilómetros.
This space is very far away from the center of the city.
Y cuando llegamos allí,
And when we arrived there,
nos encontramos con que nuestros vecinos
we found out that our neighbors
era el mayor asentamiento humano de Chabolas, de Shantytown.
It was the most, the biggest shanty town in the world?
No, in Europe.
In Europe.
Yes, the most largest shantytown. Entonces, lo primero que hicimos... ¿Visitamos Shantytown?
It's
I
like,
think the
it's
dictionary
it's not houses.
is no electricity, it's favela, ya. Entonces, lo primero que hicimos fue hacer un pasacalles y entrar saludando a nuestros vecinos.
So then the first thing that we did was operate through that place, saying hi to our neighbors.
Cuando empezamos ya a construir el espacio, empezamos con el laboratorio allí también y empezamos a hacer diferentes talleres.
And we start with building the space in that place. We start with the laboratory and we also start different activities there.
Una de las primeras fue invitar a los niños de las favelas
One of the first things that we did was to invite those children
para hacer un taller para infantil.
to do a children's workshop.
La única manera de que vinieran a vernos era invitarles a la merienda.
The only way to achieve this objective was to invite them to have merienda, which is a short meal between lunch and dinner, like usually sweets and
Gracias a eso teníamos segura su participación todas las tardes.
thanks to that, to invite them to the merienda, we secured their participation every evening.
Pero nos dimos cuenta que no venían solos.
But we realized that they weren't alone.
Y al final nos hemos dado cuenta también de que esto tiene mucho que ver con el teatro comunitario.
And at the end, we also realized that this has a lot of things to do with communitary field.
No solo tienes en cuenta a los participantes, también tienes en cuenta a su familia.
We don't really have to think about the participants, but also their families.
Entonces, a partir de aquí, nos dimos cuenta que venían las madres, los hermanos, mucha gente, y las madres se asomaban a mirar cuál era el trabajo que hacíamos por los niños.
Then we realized that the children came with the mothers, the siblings, the families, and those mothers did a little bit to see the work that we were doing with the children.
Y dijimos, ¿y por qué no vamos a hacer un trabajo también con ellos?
And we say, why don't we work with the mothers?
Enseguida saltó el texto de Lorca, La casa de Bernarda Alba.
Suddenly, Lorca's La Casa de Bernarda Alba, The House of Bernarda Alba, came into our minds.
Que es un grupo de mujeres encerradas en un espacio con mucha opresión y con falta de libertad.
Because this test is about a group of women that are closed in a space with a lot of oppression and lack of freedom.
Entonces parecía que casaba perfectamente la historia, o sea, la vida real de estas mujeres con lo que nosotros queríamos llevar a cabo a escena.
It was a perfect match between the real lives of these women and what we want to do in the performance.
Estas 8 mujeres eran mujeres que no sabían leer ni escribir.
Those 8 women were women that didn't know how to write or read.
Y tenían más problemas aparte de ese, pero sobre todo ese, a la hora de trabajar necesitábamos repetir y repetir mucho el texto, aparte que cortamos mucho de él.
Apart from that, they have another problem, that we have to repeat and repeat and repeat the text to them, and also we have to cut a lot of lines.
Ese año fue el espectáculo más valorado en España.
That year was the most
Valued?
Well done.
Valued.
valued show in Spain.
Era un montaje de profesional con actores no profesionales.
It was a professional performance with non-professional actresses.
Todo el resto que ocurre es historia. Quiero decir, aparte de que funcionó muy bien el espectáculo, hoy por hoy las favelas del Valle en Sevilla ya no existen.
The rest of it is history because today there is no more favelas in El Valle, in Sevilla.
hubo un gran movimiento político y se permitió que las mujeres y las familias de esas mujeres tuvieran su propio piso.
There was a huge political and social movement, and they allowed those women and those families to have a place on their own.
Después, como un efecto dominó, todo el resto de las familias fueron siendo realojadas.
Then, like a butterfly effect, all of those families that lived there were assigned a flat or apartment.
Y las actrices que participaban en la producción cobraban lo mismo que los actores que llevamos 30 años trabajando allí.
And the actresses that participated in that show, they have the same salary as the professional performance of Atalaya.
Esta es la historia de las mujeres del Banquie.
That's the story of Bakie women.
Este año se vuelve a poner el espectáculo y seguirá de gira en España.
Today, this year, we're redoing again, and it's going to tour all over Spain.
Pero no podemos conformarnos, porque ese fue un proyecto que salió bien.
We cannot be we cannot stay like that.
No podemos conformarnos porque ese proyecto salió bien, porque hay otros que no han salido.
We cannot say like that because that project was all right, because there are another very interesting projects that didn't work.
Por eso quería incidir en el proyecto que no salió y por qué.
Because, that's why I would like to
Talk about, underline, or talk
Thank
about.
you. That's why I would like to underline that project that didn't work and why.
He empezado cantando una canción que era con la que dábamos la bienvenida a los participantes inmigrantes que venían a trabajar con nosotros.
I started singing a song that was the welcoming song for the Moroccan immigrants that came to perform with us, to work with us.
Eso se pudo hacer porque el gobierno tiene una serie de programas de ayuda a los menores no acompañados.
That was possible because the Spanish or the
El marroquí, los marroquíes no acompañados. El
gobierno
de el gobierno de España y la Junta de Andalucía.
The Spanish and Andalusian government have some money to put to the minors who came unaccompanied.
Este programa además tiene la posibilidad de acompañar porque son menores, no podemos olvidar que son niños.
This program has the possibility to accompany these minors because we have to remind them to go along. This program has the possibility to go along with this minor because we have to remember that they are children.
Pero nosotros queríamos seguir trabajando con ellos. Lo que pasa es que cuando los menores llegan a los 18 años, necesitan ponerse a trabajar.
We wanted to keep working with them, with those children, but when they reach the legal age, the 18 age, they have to start working.
Es decir, no tenemos buenas leyes en nuestro país
We don't have good laws in our country
donde podamos apoyar a todas las personas que vienen a trabajar a nuestro país.
where we can help and support those people that come to our country to work.
Creo que cuando hablamos de teatro comunitario y teatro social,
I believe that when we talk about communitary and social theatre,
hablamos de política,
we talk about politics,
teatro comprometido,
compromise theatre.
teatro donde sus miembros no quieren ver desigualdades en la vida normal de la gente.
Theatres where the members don't want to see the equality of the society.
Donde nos interesa conocer su cultura y ¿por qué no compartirla?
Where we are interested in knowing the culture and share it too.
Entonces es por eso muy importante, creo que tenemos que hablar de realmente en qué momento está el teatro comunitario, qué tiene que hacer los diferentes espacios como Residui, como Atalaya, como Brama, como Antagon, Protagon. ¿Qué hacer para cambiar esto?
I believe it's important.
No me acuerdo. Te he dicho que...
I believe it's important to think about community theatre now and what we can do at these groups of theatre like Atalaya, like Recibe, like Brama, like Protagon, Antagon, and so on.
Por eso quería empezar primero.
That's why I wanted to start it first with
Explicaros
explaining
el gusto, el placer por poder trabajar con esta gente
explaining the pleasure that we felt working with those people
y qué podemos hacer para que sea para ellos más fácil poder seguir sus caminos.
and how we can help them to keep following their ways in life, their path in life.
Es muy fácil mostrar los éxitos,
It's very easy to show the successful part,
pero también tenemos que mostrar los fracasos
but we also have to show the failures.
para poder aprender de ellos y saber qué hacer en el futuro.
To learn from them and to know what can we do in the future.
Quiero que luego, a ver si da tiempo, podáis ver el vídeo, porque en realidad el trabajo, el proyecto con estos chicos marroquíes,
I would like to show the video if we have time, because that project with the Moroccan people, with the Moroccan children,
era porque queríamos en el aniversario de Magallanes.
It was based on the anniversary of Magallanes.
Hay aniversarios y aniversarios.
There are anniversaries and anniversaries.
El aniversario 1492, descubrimiento de América, para algunos de nosotros sigue siendo un genocidio.
The anniversary of 19...
Sí, el descubrimiento de América.
The discovery of America is a genocide. For a lot of us, it's a genocide.
Pero el proyecto de Magallanes es como un logro humano que implica la primera vuelta al mundo que da un ser humano.
But in the Magallanes project, we wanted to celebrate the first vuelta al mundo, the first
Round the world.
a travel around the whole world that the humankind did.
Yeah. Y por eso es tan importante tenerlo en cuenta, que teníamos muy claro que los marineros que aparecen en esta historia, queríamos que fueran inmigrantes que también han tenido un problema para atravesar o para llegar a ciertos sitios.
It's so very clear that the sailors that appear in this performance, we wanted to be those immigrant young boys that also have a problem crossing the sea.
El proyecto fue un éxito, pero luego no pudimos continuar trabajando con ellos.
The project was a success, but we couldn't keep working with those young boys.
Y esa es la razón por la que estoy aquí.
And that's why I'm here today.
Quiero encontrar respuestas. Y ahora
I want to find answers. Now,
pues, tanto con los compañeros, podemos seguir
and now
charlando un poquito sobre ello.
with the Felicity can keep talking about it.
Thank you. Oh, okay. How long? 2 minutes.
Can you make up the screen? Thank you. Okay, so I would like to ask one volunteer.
What?
Maybe you can be like Margot? Margot was first.
Volunteer, please.
For the sacrifice.
Okay, this is the situation. I'm the mayor. Hello, mayor. I'm the mayor of the town. And you are, you want to make a theater in my town. I don't know, to have a money or to have a space, I don't know, okay? But I'm very busy, mayor. Yes, that you, what you want from me? Yes, you start. We play some games.
Okay, hi.
Hi.
I'm Margot.
You want to see?
No, I'm looking. Okay.
You want the water? So what is the case? No, this is like... Yes.
I'm here to ask if it's possible to make theater in the city with my group.
Okay, and what the city will have from that we come?
A lot of things.
Where come?
For example, we can work with a school or the city, and we can create interaction between art and the young people.
And you can do this for free?
Well, if I can come to your home to do something,
Okay.
no, for free not, but we can manage an agreement,
Yes.
or we can find a way to write a project together
Okay.
and find some money to do some project together.
But who will find the money?
Me.
Okay. So you will bring the money,
Yeah,
right?
of course.
Sounds good. Because you see, this is the city council, and in 2 minutes they will vote. So we should make a theater in the town.
Okay.
So what do you need from us?
We need space and support.
Do we have a space here?
Yes.
Okay. Do we want a theater?
Yes.
Okay. So we do the theater.
Yes.
So just space.
Yeah, space and support in bureaucratic stuff, and but we don't need money.
You don't
No, no,
Just
absolutely
space.
not. Space and collaboration.
Who is in? Okay.
Thank you.
This is
Free space.
Sorry?
The rent of the
No, of course.
who pays the rent?
No, it's we could use the public spaces without.
Okay, you know how it looks. Okay, I'm the mayor, but look, there is a town. I need to have something that I will tell the people, this group, we welcome them because something. You need to tell me something very special that I can tell the people, you know, I sacrifice myself.
Okay, we can offer workshop and courses of theater without paying for the people. Festival with many shows.
We like festivals. Okay. Other one. Okay, it's a new situation. I'm a farmer. I'm a farmer in the town. Okay? And you want to make a social community theater and you want to invite me to the show. Okay? Okay, community theater with me.
Hi, my name is Josefina. What's yours? Hi, Carlos. I am here in representation of my theater.
I don't speak English.
Carlos, yo soy Josefina.
Moment. I will call my colleague, he speaks English, okay?
I am here in representation of my group, my theater group, and we want to work with you.
You are theater?
Yes.
Nice. I never been in theater.
Well, what we are wanting to do is to work with you and make like an exchange.
Come on, I'm not an actor.
No, but the idea is that you are not actors and we can make like a real human exchange and you can show us what you do and maybe we can build like a new relationship and build something together that then we can share with other people.
I don't understand. What you want?
What we want to do is to know you better and we want to...
So my name is Roberto. I have 5 children. 7 cows, pigs and wives.
Well, that is great for us to try to do something with the cows, with your children, and where everybody is involved. And we can build great things with all you have and make an artistic expression out of that, of what you are usually doing in your life, and you can share all that with other people.
Sorry, because there is my wife. Gabby. What she wants?
I think she wants you to be a little bit more open.
Okay. But what should I do?
Try.
Okay. Okay, no problem. So what should I do?
Maybe we can come a week, some days before we start like the project, and we can meet and talk to each other, and you can tell us, we can ask you some questions, and you can tell us, and we will learn.
Oh, you want to be friends with me? You like graffiti, no?
Yes.
Also my daughter likes graffiti, so we can do it together. Okay, so this is us. Okay, no problem. You like it, yes? This is for my whole family. You want to make it here?
Yes.
No doubt?
No.
Are you happy?
Yes.
Okay,
Thank you, Dad.
Guys, I wanted to make a little bit this experiment to tell you what for me social, for us, for Brama, social community theater is, what we deal with. And that this is something for us daily based, a part of the artistic work. I would like to thank also my friend from Brama, Ola.
Hola.
Ola.
That's actually my name, yes.
Yes. And Ola will help me to just sum up something maybe about Brama in 2 minutes. Okay?
Yes. Welcome everyone. Yes, my name is Ola and I work with Brama since 2013, 14. And I'm 28 years old. So I joined theater when I was 16, 15, 16, something like that. Yes, I think that I will just tell you through my experience, maybe you will understand what is Brama, because before this meeting, Daniel told me, we will speak about
how it works and what not. And it's like, he said, with the local community, how we work with the local community. And I said to him, but how we work with the local community? It's like many levels, many categories, many different struggles, so it's impossible to tell you everything, and also it's impossible to explain. You have to see this and understand maybe better. But my experience and how it looks like in our theater. I came accidentally for the workshop because Brama, since Daniel started Brama 30 years ago, he's doing local community workshops for free. People are coming every week, they can join. Mostly Tuesdays at 4 is the youth group that is working for 2 hours every week. Then we also have the adults group that we started some years ago, children group and 60 plus group. So I joined the youth group as I was 15, 16 years old, and of course it was by accident because I was back then with some orchestra, and they said, yeah, we do the theater workshop. I was like, theater workshop, come on, forget, I won't make any theater, I'm not for the theater. But then I joined and I stayed after this time of many months just playing with the community, playing with people, meeting every like people from Golenju, but also meeting people from intercultural, international level, because Brama is also making the voluntary program, so the group was always diverse and different. And now I realize that after so many years, I stayed in this construct, in this system, with asking myself, what is this community and what are we actually doing? Because sometimes we don't know. I think that it's very hard to tell you, but I think everyone struggles in the same way or similar way. That we try to build something that is maybe naively impossible, but we still keep going and we still believe that it's possible to do. And I think that we create a group that first, what we all do, we try to trust each other, which is also very hard these days to trust, and to take the trust also from outside, from the politicians, from outsiders, from foreigners, from everyone. So it's really something that I would say it's unique, but we try to be in a way that we build a partnership in between Brama members and between us with the local community. So there is not like I don't know, group institutionally Brama decided, okay, we do this, we do that, and there is each person of us, actors that are, I don't know, as a board deciding I don't know about everything. It's more like we try to make open space, or how to call it? Yes, open space, and more like a horizontal running the company that is open for different kinds of art, different kinds of groups and theaters and people from the city. What else I can say? I don't know.
Well, maybe
You maybe join because
maybe
I
that I
can
would
go
just
on
say
and
that Ola now is president of the association, and she actually the boss of the theater. So from the youth group, and this is what you said, trust, and even we take the youth group, young people, when we will make a festival and give them the task to just to trust. And it's very important that when we work with the local community, we don't expect that they have to be perfect. We are okay with the mistakes. We take care of these mistakes afterwards, and I think it's a long process. A lot of meetings like this, coffees, and
proving that we matter, and proving that actually what we do in such a small city is important.
And what is difficult that suddenly you understand that you promised something to 50 other groups and organizations, and then you are every voice comes to you in one day, and this is sometimes difficult. So this was, I think, our experience to how to, because it's afterwards it's also management of community So we share this. For example, Ola is responsible to contact some groups and I these groups, and we don't mix it, and we try to keep it like hygienic. Otherwise, we get crazy before. But we learn to do it. This is why we feel also the support afterwards with people because they feel safe in the space. I think that's it. Thank you for listening.
Okay, so I take over. Hi, everyone. I'm now talking from Antagon TheaterAKTion, from Protagon. Bernard will explain afterwards because many of you want to know what's the difference. But I would like to start to talk about actually the project that we have in Brazil. I'm Brazilian from Salvador da Bahia. And we open an association that's called Escola Criativa. And I think for our discussion, especially for understanding of community, I was thinking, also with the topic of favela, let me just give a picture or impulse what community or what this work means to me, and also finally to the group in which I'm working. When you think about community, I mean the word community comes from común, Latin, like something that we share, something that a common experience that we as a human we have together. But especially when we talk about the work with theater, and not only the work in the theater, but also in the social cultural context, communities is a word that we use to talk about a group of people that are living under kind of disabled or how to say disadvantage or in precarious conditions, and then we say, we want to do a work with the community, so that somehow there is a well-established a picture or a notion that community is something that's suffering, that's poor, that needs care, and from that on, the relationship that often is coming from this dialogue is a power relationship, that I'm going to work with the community or including people that are living in communities into the society. So when we think about the history of Brazil, not only Brazil but the whole continent, America, it's very important to think about where this term is coming from. And also what's the difference between favela, that's also coming from a tree, faveleira, that this tree, faveleira, is related also to the war of Canudos. It was a war of resistance. And it was a huge trees that the soldiers, they are going to the street on the top of the morro, like the mountain, to hide and to protect. And then finally, this war was in Bahia. There was resistance for independence of the country. And then finally, when they went back to Rio de Janeiro, the government didn't give what they promised to them. If they won the war, they will get a house, land, a good life, and they say, we still live in the favelas, like this street in the favelas. And in the social historic context, favela is also related to the context of colonization in Brazil and also to immigration. That's why it's necessary to make this ping pong between Brazil with Europe, because we have a diverse kind of immigration there. So the immigration that was coming with forced migration from Africans that were enslaved and put into the slave trades as objects. So they were taken out of their country, their family, their social life, and they somehow went through the process of dehumanization. You become an object or animals or power that will create the so-called civilization. So this was the first like strong forced migration, like millions that were led in Brazil. And what happens after they declare freedom in 1888? They were there. And then the government said, what should we do now? So we will just allow them to keep on living. Let's see if they survive. Because behind that was also a plan of whitening the country. So in the same time that we have the freedom from the Afro-descendants and also the Africans that are still living there, the Brazilian government also opened the borders and invited Europeans also. The beginning of the First War and the Second War, it It was like a big move of migration from Italians, from Germans, later also from Japanese. And what happens? A part of the African slave, they arrived there, they got a passport, they got a piece of land, they got the conditions to work. And at this moment, the Afro-descendants, they were searching for survival. So they went up to the Mohos and they start to build on their own houses, their structures. So the so-called favelas, improvised house constructions, was from the beginning on a movement of resistance, a movement of we don't have any infrastructure, social health, education, care. We need to come together and give to each other a perspective, a future in which maybe the next generations they will have a right to live in this country as citizens. So this is the context of favela, favelado, someone who is coming from favela, and community. And what happens in Brazil? They said that favelado, like especially the government says that favelado is a pejorative term that describes someone that's not civilized, that's wild, that's dangerous, that's not good for society. So let's call it community, because this is more somehow social acceptable. And with this strategical term, they wanted to hide the history of social disequality and say, you are not living in a favela, you are living in a community, you are sharing the same history. So it's important to rename the term. But the people in Brazil, especially the ones who are coming since generations, they say, no, we are favelado. This is our history. But in the way that we self-describe ourselves, because this history of oppression somehow give us or give to us a possibility of understanding and being in the world from a different perspective. And why I'm saying this to you? Why for me to give a little bit of this background is not Brazilian, but also if you see in other countries, you will see that this history of building communities also coming for sharing need of surviving or creating resistance or searching for a new future, a new way of being together, because this is also the work that we in Antagon are doing not only in Frankfurt, in Germany, but in Brazil. So it's a thing of how a theater group can develop a community work that's not only the territory, but goes beyond the Atlantic, arrive in another country and start to do this kind of conversation. And what is important to consider in this relationship. So I would like now to ask you, Julio, can you put the down? So we with this question, Bernard has a great idea of building a boat, yes, a theater ship, in which we are going to communities, to villages, to spaces that also called quilombos. Quilombos is also coming from a set of resistance against enslavement, and also quilombos was the first way that people escaping from slavery build their own society, and quilombo is also the first experience of democracy in our country, because there you will have like slave Africans escaped, like so-called fugitivos that come from fugitivity, and also indigenous and poor white people living together and sharing the same rights as human beings. So in this project that we put down, everything will help. Apologize. So now it's because we can show now. Yes. Okay. So with this project was there to look back first. What is relationship this Afro-Brazilian had towards the ocean ship? In the past, our ancestors they were taken into the the porão, like under the ship where you storage the material. And now we wanted to rename the experience and bring I don't know the name in English. We bring the experience of empowerment. So just show to you. Two minutes for what we did in our last project, 2022, and yeah. This is our boat Creativa, and here is the small boat that is Salvador da Bahia. We did a performance with 20 people. We created a group, and after we went on tour with them.
agora eu quero ir com o nosso trabalho, investida para que a gente hoje estivesse aqui a bordo. A ideia desse barco é ser um barco cultural, é ser um barco que está promovendo igualdade e ao mesmo tempo discussão sobre cultura, sobre arte, sobre como a gente ressignificar uma história que é uma história na qual os corpos que vieram de África e de outros países entraram em conflito, criando desigualdades e violência, mas agora a gente quer criar arte. A gente quer criar protagonismo da juventude negra daqui de Salvador e a escuna representa isso.
Yeah, very short, just like to have a time is running, also to explain a little bit why Antagon as a theater group is interested to look at the global south, other cultures, and how this inspired also our artistic work and being ourselves a group community, not only working with community. So that was yours.
So, step by step, hello, my name is Bernhard. I'm founder of the group Antagon. 35 years ago, it was for me the big question, not only how to survive as a theater in our reality here, because as we see, we are not only responsible to explain to the politician what we have to do, also explain to our audience why we are doing what and how, and the people we want to work in our social project. We also have to find the existency, we also have to find the money to do this, and also we have to find, or we should know why we are doing that. This is what I want to talk later about, why we are doing actually theater and why we are doing this work, why we are in a way also sacrifice ourselves in that way. But okay, first, Protagon and Antagon. These always these two names, just explain. Antagon is the theater group, and Protagon is making theaters, producing, making projects, go to Brazil. And Protagon is the association, it's the theater, it's the place, it's creating, we have 6 festivals in the year, and of course we are working close together. Protagon have a cultural space in Frankfurt, and Antagon is a resident there. What means Antagon is a community. Antagon is a living and working community. It is 20 people living there, plus children, and since 35 years, we changed our place once, but we are still together in this way. And yeah, it was, the reason was also existential reason to create a group to share resources, maybe the same reason how people in global south countries, in poor areas, region of this world, are of course coming together and share their resources and could afford what they are doing. So we took our money, the little money we have, and took together a room, start our theater like this. And if you share resources, you will find out the costs go extremely down. So today we have a community, I always say, from the toothpaste till the car. We share everything. It means there's a box, a key, and I go with the Berlingo or I go with the Opel. So we really share even our money, our resources, and we build up also, how you said, horizontal structure or non-hierarchical structure, like a group which is sitting together, organizing together, and deciding together as a theater. So this is Antagon. And well, it is not only existential thing. It was also a very clear thing. We are living in Frankfurt. You can imagine Frankfurt. Anyone knows what is Frankfurt? What kind of place is is the place of globalization? Is the place of the European Central Bank and all the other banks all together. So you can imagine that the atmosphere in this town is quite posh, quite arrogant, and theater there is institutional theater, it's the opera, it's the ballet, it's the, and so a group like Antagon was not that the government in the city screamed for happiness that this kind of people come. So it was like everything what we get from this city was a fight. And it was really a fight. Today on our festival, Sommerwerft, is coming 120,000 people. After 25 years, we start very small, very hippie, like very small, but we believe in this idea. And after 25 years, it's like this, our mayor comes and opens the festival. We have more public than some parties who are in the government votes. No? So it is interesting even now for the city to be involved and be together with us. And of course, we try also we say we have a relationship, we are in this city, so we need your support. Of course, we support this relationship. No? But I come now to the point, how is it possible that such a group coming from just an idea, not because the state said we want that you make theater like the institutional theaters and cultural places. No, it came from our idea that we started with, you know? And why we saw this necessity to work like this, not only because we are coming from artistic background. I hate the word artist actually. I call our work, we are theater makers. We are making theater. We are not doing the theater because we want to entertain the people or bring new aesthetic formats. And okay, we want to be aesthetic, we want to be qualitative also, very clear. No? But the first idea behind is that we think that we are living in a time in which is possible with this language, which is our handcraft, our profession, we can give something to the process of society. And so when I want to talk about community theater, is also the question, what do we want to bring to community? What is the message, or what is new, what is maybe interesting, because all those communities normally quite well know why they are together and why and how they are doing it. What is the new thing, what we are bringing? And on this point, I would like to ask you, who of you is living in a community? Who of you is sharing existence and life with other people together? Hands up. In a community, like sharing with other people. So, there is some. Means it is not very common that we are doing that. Why? Because we are living in a society which is how we grow up and how we were learned and teach and how we learned it and how we got our socialization. It is an individual way to live. No? Every one of us is more or less managing their own life in a way, and in our civilization it is called freedom. this freedom. I call it we're living in a big supermarket, and we have a lot of possibilities, and the freedom is to use all the time those not only materialistic, also in living styles or in what way you want to do it is. But actually, freedom for me is something. If I can live the life I want to live, and this is very different. Try to live in a community. You will find out, not only because it's difficult to live in a community, because the structure, the apartments and everything, it is not organized for communities. It is organized for little families or for singles. No? Now, it is mostly about our own incapacity to share. So, to share, really to share, and this is, for me, the community, to go deeply into community, creating in Germany Gesellschaft, is like bringing together people who want to be together, no? Or to that. And this is what I think very deeply is also the way how I started a group, that I found the decision of so many people to say, yeah, community, yes, this is something I want to go for, without knowing what kind of challenge it is, really to share life and life together in that way. But actually, this is the way, this is a kind of research. This is a research in ourselves, with ourselves, about, yeah, what is the way of a dignity life, because I also believe that human being is a collective thing. It's a community way of being together, developing of the human. You never put yourself on the next level. It will always happen through other people. And we see that this individualistic life now is coming on top. The digital communication forms and so on. What it builds people becoming, well, very often very lonely, very alone, very, especially when they become older, and in a way also a lot of frustration and mental sickness and these kind of things we see. It's coming now, it's becoming even stronger. And in Germany I always say the joke, yeah, these people suffer, especially when they are old and they jump in the coffin, but they were right. They were right. Yeah? So actually we are believing that our group is finding out something which is necessary for our society. It's something beside our theater, about the really crazy things we do. Antagon is making productions. We have been in tours in Mexico, in South America, in Russia, also in Armenia, in Singapore, crazy places, and we played in front of 10,000, 12,000 people, big productions. But we love also this community work, the small things in there, and it is actually, when we want to bring something to community, then it is this what you also could see in all the other representations, that something how to bring people together through our language of theater and our capacity of reconnect something in between us, which is, I would say, it's a European project in Europe, no? Is becoming a big problem in Europe. If we look that this disconnecting people they and also pandemic and all these unfortunate things happening, creating a lot of confusion and insecurity in the people. And what they are doing, they are calling for totalitarian solutions for people who say, look, they are guilty or this kind of things. I'm talking about the right wing or even in Germany, the right wing party got the most votes, more than the Christian Democrats and all. It's something, it's growing at the moment. And so I see also tomorrow we have a round table or next day about the theater, what is political theater actually. I see this is our political task. No? Politics is not voting only, it is mainly to take position, take self-position in that life, and that we can do as a theater. No? So this community work is always, I think global, but act local. No? Act in these moments and till to your own company, your own group. We also don't say company, we say group. To us, it's a group of people. And it's a crazy concept. Most of the people ask me, oh man, you're doing, this is your thing, you're doing for many, many years. Group, so how group is functioning, because we see a lot of groups try and don't succeed. And they are falling apart. Not because somebody cut them, no, because from inside is the incapacity. And I say, it's the way to find people who believe in that idea, who have a commitment to this idea, and then put all in a pot and put them on the fire. Because a group is not a theoretical thing. Group is very practical. It is